Hi, this is Crystal Torres, and you're in the mix with DJ JR.
That's right. Let's see.
Third time's a charm.
Oh man.
I broke it.
Oh man. I'm so sorry. It never happened to me, and I put it on. I was like, "What's going on here?" Like it never happened like that before, and it was like it's like I could hear you, but I sounded like a robot on my end.
Yeah, it was my fault because like there was a button that said watch party, so I clicked it
Uh-huh.
but it was simultaneously broadcasting below at the same time you were talking. So
Oh, it was like a feedback.
yeah, so I was like, no,
Oh,
what did I do? And I couldn't figure out how to turn it off, stop it, and yeah.
oh my God. Man, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Like, and then two videos, I was like, man, people are gonna be like, man, forget that. But it's all good. It's all good. We're back. We're back.
Yeah.
It's okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching and welcome to my Tejano show and everything like that. And I'd like to welcome Crystal Torres right here. What's up, girl?
Hey. Hello, everybody.
And like I said, let me get back. I know a couple of people are watching a while ago, so let me get back to that. So so you were born in, how do you say that? Des Moines, Iowa?
So I was actually born in Kansas, but
Oh, Kansas.
I only lived in Kansas for like 8 months. So
Okay.
I claimed Des Moines as my hometown because I
Oh,
moved
okay.
8 months old, and I literally lived there till I was 26. So
Okay.
that's my hometown. My mom always gets mad. She's like, "You are not from Iowa." And I'm like, "But I was raised there. Like that's my
Yeah.
home state." But I don't really, other than having family in Kansas, uh,
Uh-huh.
I don't really know much about like where I was born and stuff. So I was
Oh, okay.
in Iowa. Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah.
all right, all right. And when was it that you moved to, were you real young when you moved to San Antonio?
No, so I was raised in Iowa, and I've been singing since I was little, and I
Hmm.
really wanted to move down here when I was like 18, to sing, and my mom was like, "You're crazy, you're not moving, you got to go to
Oh,
college."
okay.
So
Okay.
she pushed me to go to college, and I went to college, and I got a bachelor's and a master's degree. And when I finished my master's degree, I packed up and moved down here with my car and $300 in my pocket and
Oh,
back.
yeah. Is there you wanted to come, did you want to come over here for the music or like stuff like that?
Yes, so I like I said, I had been singing since I was a little girl, and
Hmm.
my mom's from Odessa, Texas,
Okay.
where the tejano comes into play. My grandma is from a little town called Candelaria, Texas, which is down
Candela.
Ojinaga, like
Okay.
way down Presidio, Texas, over
Hmm.
in that area.
Oh,
And
okay.
so my mom was raised in Odessa, and they raised me on Tejano music. And so,
Okay.
um, I listened to Selena, when I was little, and
Hmm.
at the height of her popularity, and it was like there was somebody who looked like me.
Uh-huh.
I loved her, and listened to Emilio and La Mafia and Jay Perez, and my grandma, would listen to Sunny Osuna and
Oh, okay.
Carlos and Little Joe and stuff. So that music really reminded me of my childhood. And
Hmm.
up in Iowa, I would sing country music and stuff like that because
Oh, really?
nobody knew what the Tejano music was. And I told everybody, starting, when I was probably about 15 years old, I'm going to move to San Antonio one day, and I'm going to become
Okay.
a music award winner. And, made it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I seen that. I was reading on that yesterday. Este, and so like you said over there, where you said where you claim I in Iowa and all, para allá, Kansas, there ain't no Tejano, like straight up, like, but you grown up, like.
You know, in Kansas, especially in the Topeka area,
Mhm,
Topeka, Kansas,
mhm.
there was a big Tejano following. In Iowa, not so much. Um, I know, you know, in the Chicago area, there was a big Tejano following. Even like I remember about 2 or 3 weeks before Selena was killed, she was actually in Chicago, and I bet
Okay.
take me over there. And she said, no, next time, mija, you know, but there was no next time. So
Hmm.
in areas around the Midwest, there are
Yeah,
big Tejano followings, but specifically in Iowa, where I grew up, not really.
there
You
wasn't any.
had to
Oh
travel,
man.
you know.
You had to travel. You had to travel to see it or something,
Yeah.
right? Oh, okay,
La
okay.
Mafia did come when I was 12 years old, though, and that's how
Uh-huh.
we found out that Selena was going to be in Chicago. They came, I think, in January or February of '95 to our little,
Really?
not little, it was like a town of 200,000, and
Oh, okay.
so excited. And I kid you not, there was maybe 50 people at this dance because nobody knew
Wow.
who La Mafia was, but we were. We were like, oh, this is so cool. You know, we got their
God,
autograph.
even in that time there was that many people. I
Yeah.
can't even believe that.
Yes, yes, because I mean Iowa just didn't really have that many Tejanos, but we were
Yeah.
so grateful. You know, we paid $50 a ticket. You
Oh
know,
my God. Wow.
yeah, we were so excited, and we got to meet them. I remember Oscar signed my poster afterwards, and we were just,
Oh.
you know,
And,
in
and even though there was that many people, they performed like it was like a giant crowd, like
yeah,
their performance. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it was amazing. It was a good baile, you know.
Yeah. Muy bien, muy bien. Um, so let me get to the music part. You were self-taught, right? It says right there.
Yeah.
You didn't take no singing lessons, like, or
No,
nothing like that.
my grandma sang when she was growing up,
Mhm.
and she sang in the church, you know, like mariachi and stuff. But
Yeah.
you know, she was a young mom and whatnot, so she really didn't get to pursue that. My mom doesn't sing. None of my siblings sing or anything like that. Um, and I've been singing since I was a little toddler. My grandma would always put on, you know, music and stuff, and
Hmm.
she would sing, you know, around the house, and I would listen to her and whatnot. And I think it's really from her that I got that love of music and love of singing and everything.
Hmm.
But um, I didn't take vocal lessons until I moved here to San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was
And
already in my 20s.
oh, really? No, yeah, but like an awesome voice. It's like
Thank
you hit like different pitches and it sounds really nice. Like I said, when I came across you, it was when I heard the song Tres Palabras.
Oh yeah,
And
that
man, I sort of to this day I jam it like constantly over and over. It just sounds like really good, you know. I mean, and I go to Mexico, you know, a lot. I go to this part. I don't know if you heard of it? It's Saltillo, Coahuila. It's
uh-huh,
like a little bit past Monterrey. You know, in Monterrey, like Tejano's really strong out there. You know what I
it
mean?
is. Yeah.
And you know, and I jam your music over there, you know, and everything. And you know, that's the song that got me. Then I start, you know, checking out your music and everything. And check out that album, man. That whole album is like is like 100%. Like you did a little bit of rancheras, you know, the mariachi, and you know, like you took back to the old school with the, you know, it's also like like the ballad, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And you know, that album was awesome, and
Thank
I
you.
still jam it. I still jam
Thank
it.
I appreciate it. Yeah. I was really proud of that. Like I said, I mean it was my debut album, and I had never recorded before, you know, and
Hmm.
so a really kind of overwhelming experience because it was
Yeah,
like, you know, it's a little out of
yeah,
my
I understand.
but that's always what I wanted to do.
And that first album, did you do that with Gilbert Velasquez? That
I
one?
did, yes. So crazy story about that. You know,
Okay.
always asks, you know, how did you break into the business and whatnot? And so when I tell
Mhm.
you that I moved here with $300 in my pocket and I didn't know anyone, it was true. But the Tejano conventions that they have every year that have been
Uh-huh.
in, um, I lived in Vegas for a period of time, right before I moved to San Antonio, actually. And so I went to the Tejano convention and I met a whole bunch of people. And I asked every single one, who is the producer that I have to work with if I want to be in this business? And everybody said Gilbert Velasquez. And so,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, how am I going to meet this guy? You know what I mean? And so I would go to like the little breakout sessions and just, have you seen Gilbert Velasquez? I didn't know what he looked like at that point in time. And this was like, really before, social media was a big thing. I mean,
Oh yeah, of course.
And so the following year, Tejano convention was actually in Dallas, and I went with one of our family friends, and everybody said the same thing: you need to work with Gilbert Velasquez.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked our family friend, he was a DJ over in Topeka. I said, can you record like a demo of, me singing some songs? I need to submit it to this Gilbert Velasquez guy. And he said, well, yeah, it's just going to be in my living room. It's not going to be like, 100%, but sure, I can record you. So we recorded like 3 songs, and, I had them burnt on the CD and everything.
Oh,
And
really?
I'm uploaded to like MySpace and stuff like that.
MySpace.
So, I know. I'm telling you guys how old I am. So I look online and I find Gilbert's website, and it had like a blind, like a regular email. It was like info at Velasquez, music.com or something like that. So I send him this email and I say, I want to be a Tejano singer. I live in Iowa. I don't know how to break into the, industry. Everybody says I need to work with you. How can I introduce my music to you? And so he emails me back, and he
Wow.
said, can you send me, a couple examples of your vocals? So I send
Yeah.
him things, and he emails back and he said, call me, let's talk. And
Wow.
my family friend who recorded these vocals, he's always been supportive, but he said, there's no way in hell Gilbert Velasquez is ever going to work with you. You're just a girl from Iowa. And I said, you just watch, just wait. And so he ate his words after that, which is, it's funny because we're still in contact. He's actually coming to San Antonio this weekend, and we're gonna have dinner. But that, I always laugh at that, my family friend, because I said, you ate your words. You said he'd never work,
Exactly.
and
And
look
there
what.
you go.
But I was very, very lucky. Uh,
Mhm.
I've always kind of tried to be like a go-getter. I don't like
Mhm.
hearing the word no.
Yeah, good.
I've heard the word no lots of times, but I mean, you're never gonna know unless you try. And so
Mhm.
I put myself out there and made it happen. Now, obviously, I had to have some talent, for
No, of
him.
course. I mean, yeah, I mean, you can have good music, but you got to have that voice, and you got
Yeah.
the voice, and everything worked out,
Yeah.
and ate their words. So, so in 2014, this is when you got for best new female artist, right? In 2014.
Yeah, funny story about that too. I have a lot of funny stories. But
Okay, that's all good. Hey, that's what we're here for.
so, I was nominated. It was a huge honor, but I didn't think I was gonna win. You know what I mean?
You
I'm
just went
up
there
against,
like.
well, I'm up against, other talented females as well, but you just never know how this industry is going to be. It's very cliquish at
Mhm.
times, and I try to be nice and respectful to everybody. I don't try to choose any certain sides or anything like that. Um, but I just thought I'm not gonna win, and I remember to myself, should I write like a speech? And I thought,
Yeah.
nah, So I
Okay.
remember my husband, who was my fiance at the time. Um,
Okay.
we were going to buy tickets because they don't give
Mhm.
tickets to even people who are nominated. And I said,
Uh-huh.
if it's okay with you, I'm gonna buy the tickets in the nosebleed section, like way, way in the
Oh,
back.
okay.
And he was like,
Uh-huh.
well, whatever you want to do, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I had these nosebleed seats, right? So
Mhm.
then I was wearing these real huge high heels, and I
Mhm.
was actually 4 months pregnant at the time with my daughter. And they announced the nominees, and then
Mhm.
they announced me as the winner. And I don't know, it was like my I had left my body, you know what I mean?
Oh man.
Just call my name. That's not real life.
Right.
And so I was like in shock for like half a second. And then I thought, oh no, I have to walk from way back there.
Back on.
And so I'm like teeter-tottering, you know,
Yeah.
really high heels, and they're real slippery. So my husband was holding on to me to help me up to the front of the stage, but I took so long. They were like, "Oh, is she even here? Like,
Oh my God.
are we gonna even give an award out tonight?" But I finally got up to the stage. But it was a huge honor. And there's a little bit of controversy still to this day.
Oh really?
My win, because the night before we were practicing at Gilbert studio, because there was a handful of entertainers that were going to perform, and I was to perform a little bit of my song along with some other artists. We were doing a tribute, and somebody had dropped off a cake, and it said Best New Female Artist, and then on the back of the cake it said nominee. But I took a picture with the cake, and they didn't see the nominee in the back of the cake. They just see Best New Female Artist. So people are, oh, she won already. Why is there even a point of even going? And so people think that I knew, and I still, like, I didn't know I was gonna win at all. You know what I mean? And so
Are you
then
serious?
in my speech, I was a blubbering, crying mess, and I told the first words out of my mouth were, I told my mom I wouldn't cry, but I didn't say if I won. So then people are like, oh, she didn't say if she won. She said, oh, I promised my mom I wouldn't cry. Oh, she knew she was gonna win. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
You'll deal with those criticisms, I guess, so to say. In this industry, you have to have a really thick skin, and you know, I'm still growing it.
I understand. I know. Is there a video of that? Did you record it or no? Like, or is it on YouTube or no? That when you got that?
There's I can find a video of it. I know some people recorded.
Okay.
I remember Stephanie Lynn had recorded, who had filmed she was singing performance right before they announced that. And so there was a video at one point where it showed her performing, and then me winning. But I don't know if it's YouTube. But I know that there is a video of my acceptance speech on Facebook somewhere. But you can't understand any of it because I'm crying the whole time.
Oh, really? You're all emotional.
You know.
Hey, well, that's something big, you know. Hey, you know, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
And you know, let's say otra cosa, Elder, and because I talked the couple of some of the interviews I've done with a couple of other artists, you know what they tell me. I wonder, because like I said, I'm from Houston, you know, I stay in Houston, Texas. Is it true that like Tejano? Well, I mean, they call it the capital of Tejano music, and like I said, there is a lot of artists from there. When you go to perform out there, not on like fanfare or anything like that, but like, is there a lot of people real supportive out there, like in San Antonio? Like, let's say you go like to a place to perform, and this is before COVID and all that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you know a lot of people don't go out or they're scared or something, right?
Yeah.
But is it are they real supportive in San Antonio? Like when you go perform at places?
I would say they're supportive of the established artists, the ones who already have a big following. As far as the newer artists, I have a few fans, you know, here in San Antonio. But when I perform in San Antonio, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you know, I've performed for like 5 people before. I still perform like there's more.
That's crazy.
But I've really found that crazily enough, I've never performed in Houston before. I don't know why. I've never been invited over there. I would love to perform over there, but I find that the most supportive that I've encountered, now I'm not going to say anything about Houston because like I said, I haven't performed over there yet.
Exactly.
The most supportive crowds I found where they go out, and actually I do have crowds that come to see me, is Dallas.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy, you know.
And that's the way I think it is, because I'll be honest with you, like like I've heard that a couple of times, and I'll tell you one thing, in Houston, it's really like, it might not. I mean, they call San Antonio the capital of Tejano music, and I love going over there, especially fanfare and everything like that. And especially there's a lot of artists over there that they don't come to Houston, right? So, but over here, it's really like Tejano's really supportive. Like, they'll bring someone in, and maybe something. Sometimes people don't know the artist. You know what I mean? But man, they're out there dancing, and it's just
Yeah.
it's like that everywhere because we got a lot of ice houses and a lot of performers. They perform there too as well here in Houston.
Uh-huh.
It's really big. Like we have a lot of Tejano spots here in Houston, like big time.
Yeah.
And it was just a question because I just wondering, if it's the same thing because I was talking to I don't know if you know that Tejano artist's name is Henry G. Lozano.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was telling me the same thing. That's the reason why I was asked that, what I mean, how it is, because San Antonio is like, everybody's like, well, San Antonio, nothing but 100% Tejanos everywhere, and everything, and that's the reason why I was asking.
Yeah. It's crazy, but even if they don't support as much, I live here. I love, the people here, and
Oh yeah.
even if they don't like me.
Come on, don't say that. No. So check this out. Let me get to the music part as far as I seen it that you had this video for this it's El Uno para el Otro.
Yeah.
When did you record that?
So
That song?
I just recorded it and released it right before or right after Thanksgiving. We released the song.
Okay.
Like iTunes and CD Baby and everything. We just released it to radio within 2 weeks, and then we debuted the video on Christmas Day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Awesome. I was checking it out. It's awesome. The song is like 100%. And right now I was gonna go ahead and I have it on YouTube, so I'm gonna go ahead and let the raza see it. You know what I mean?
awesome.
And so you can check it out right now, and then after that we'll get to the other 2 tracks, and I want to play both of them back to back, and I'll talk about that right now.
Awesome.
So let me go ahead and show this raza right here.
Sylvia. We met 45 years ago and we thought we would fall in love. We were just kids when everything seemed so right. All of a sudden, your family left town and moved without any notice due to your dad's job. We lost touch, and 45 years later, God blessed me by bringing you back into my life. When I saw you again, you brought light to my life. You brought that hope that was lost in my life back. You brought me happiness. I lost you once, and I won't lose you again. Somos el uno para el otro.
Somos el uno el para el otro, porque los dos miramos este mismo cielo. Los dos tenemos corazón al lado izquierdo, ese que late fuerte cuando yo te veo. Somos el uno el para el otro, porque tú y yo el mismo aire respiramos. ¿Cómo negarlo si el planeta que habitamos se llama igual? Ya ves que no tienes que dudarlo. Somos el uno el para el otro, y aunque lo dudes, destinado está lo nuestro. ¿No te das cuenta que yo soy tu amor perfecto? Quiero gritar
That was awesome.
You.
And those who was that on the video?
So, the storyline is actually the true story of my executive producer, Gilbert Martinez. He fell in love with his childhood sweetheart when he was younger, and
Okay.
she moved away due to her father's job without any notice. So he
Okay.
said goodbye. He never got to, say anything. And
Mhm.
so years later on Facebook, he found her and sent her a
Okay.
message, and they started talking. And so now
Uh-huh.
they're engaged. So I kind of used that inspiration to write the storyline of the video. And
Oh,
then
okay.
video itself, Gilbert and his sweetheart Sylvia, they play themselves, and then their grandchildren and great nephew, I think,
Mhm.
or their grandson and great niece, or maybe a
Okay.
granddaughter and great nephew. One of those. They
Mhm.
play the
Mhm.
teenagers, and
Oh,
then
okay.
the little kids. The little boy is mine, my 10-year
Oh,
old,
okay.
and
Oh, okay. Okay.
the girl is my niece, and
Mm-hmm.
then the mom is my sister-in-law. So we,
Oh, okay. Cool. That's what I was asking. I said maybe they're like family members or
yeah,
something in the video.
yeah,
Cool.
the
That's
family.
awesome.
Especially with COVID and everything, it was kind of a little bit tough to film and stuff. So
Yeah.
tried to keep it small. We filmed it in 2 different weekends, and then we filmed it in different areas away from each other. So the kids filmed by themselves, me and the mariachis filmed by ourselves, and so it was kept apart. Social Tried to social distance as much as we could and wear our masks and stuff.
Oh, of course, of course. Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's tough, right?
definitely.
And you know what? I mean, I was gonna tell you that so that after watching the video, and I saw that one, and then the songs that you told me about, right? Este um I noticed on your first album, like it was like more like a well, I mean you had some cumbias, but it was tejano, right?
Yeah,
Like
right.
like rancheras, they call them
Yeah,
rancheras, right? So
rancheras.
are you like kind of like let me switch it up a little bit to some like tejano cumbias, like more like you do a little mariachi, like trying to switch it up a little bit. You
I
got
I just love to experiment with music just because I
yeah.
listen to a whole bunch of different types of genres. Um,
Hmm.
growing up in Iowa, I listened to country, I listened to pop, R&B, rap.
Cool. Hmm.
In college, I went to school with a lot of people from the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, so I listened to
Okay.
salsa, bachata, reggaeton,
Awesome. Yeah.
and so. I love all types of music, and I don't necessarily confine to one sound. I know that my first album was definitely the Tejano sound, and I love that sound.
Yeah.
But experimented with different producers since then and different sounds, and I don't necessarily feel I have a sound per se.
Yeah.
I'm told by a lot of people, even one of my friends who's a songwriter and used to be a record executive back in the day, hey, he was like, you
Hmm.
don't need a sound because you have your voice. Anybody who listens to it, they're gonna know that it's you just because
Oh.
I sound like anybody.
Oh,
So
and you have a very I could hear your voice like anywhere. I'd be like, that's Crystal Torres.
that's Chris.
No,
Yeah.
because you do have it. Honestly, you do have just like like Selena. Because I'm gonna be straight up honest. You know what I mean? Um, there's a lot of Tejano females. You know what I mean? And honestly, like some of them, to be honest with you, sometimes I'm like think it's someone else, like that brother person. You know what I mean? Porque
Yeah.
se oyen igual. You know what I mean? They do sound same, but your voice is really distinguished. Just like
I,
Selena, you could tell who's Selena, who's Stephanie Lynn in High Energy. You could tell because they have like different voices. Like you could just tell. You know what I mean? And your voice is just like that.
I
You
owe
know, that's awesome.
I owe that 100% to my mom because she would always be like, I mean, she didn't sing, but she like, no, start over. No, you're off key. Nope, you're trying to copy. No,
Damn.
yeah, she was rough on me. She'd say, "Don't, you can't copy. You need to put it in your own voice." And I'm like, "What
Yeah.
is my own voice? I don't even know," But she was no nonsense, and I owe that to her.
Hey, well, that's good because I'll tell you one thing, like you got the voice and the pitch, like to sing like the mariachi and and the tejano, because and to me, like I always feel like like tejano music, like la rancheras, like what you sang, like most of it on your first album. I feel like you have to have like a soulful voice, you know what I mean? And it sounds better like when you have that soulful voice to sing tejano music, like tejano like that,
Yeah.
And it was an awesome album, and then you did this, and I'm like the mariachi and everything, and I was checking out the other song. I like that other one. It's cool that you're switching others. I was asking you about that. ¿Cómo se llama?
Was it
I believe it's the one that's a little bit hyper. ¿Y qué
Yeah,
pasó? Is that it? Is
it
that it, right?
has a rapper. It's actually my
It,
friend in the Dominican Republic who lives in Iowa.
really?
I needed
Okay.
a rapper on the song, and nobody locally wanted to help out, and I really needed somebody who kind of grasped that reggaeton vibe.
Oh,
So
okay.
one of my friends, since he goes by El Ave Phoenix, I
Oh,
met.
okay.
I said, "Hey, I need somebody to rap on this song." I said, "There's already a rap written," and he said, "No, I can write one." So the rap he raps in that song, he wrote it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
it turned out real.
Cool.
I like that
I
song.
know. I was here. I said, "Oh man, she's switching it now," and it's like that's cool. But and I take one thing, that song, I feel like those are one of those it reminds me of like something like Shakira style, like that kind of.
Yeah,
And I know it's gonna do very damn good because and I'm gonna play that sucker when I go to Mexico también.
thank you.
And I do little barbecues, and I invite people at little parties, so I'm gonna throw that sucker in there. Yeah, and that's cool. And oh, but la otra that so I do hip hop, so let me
Yeah.
know next time when you got a track and you want someone to get in there. And I'm
Cool.
gonna send you my album too. So
Ah,
I released one in 2018, so you can
nice.
check it out.
Yeah,
We'll do a little something maybe next time.
yeah.
But is that guy your friend? Is he from San Antonio?
My
The one that passed on there?
the one who rapped. No, he's
Yeah.
from the Republic, and
Oh, okay.
I went to
Oh,
college.
I knew you told me he was from over there, but I thought he was a friend of yours that lived in San Antonio and
Oh
you got.
no, we went to college in Iowa together. So
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
So now, órale, cool. So, so what do you think about fanfare? You think that's going down? I don't think so.
Honestly, as much as I would love for it to, I just don't think it's safe. I outside of singing, I'm a recruiter. I work from home, and our company that I work for, um, we're not gonna go on site till maybe summer of this year.
Okay.
So the workplaces are not doing that. I if they do go ahead with it, I'm announcing.
Would you do it? I mean, let's say they would. You would do it or not? You just
I wouldn't. And I withdrew last year from it, because
okay.
that's when they started announcing that, they were gonna, everybody was gonna start wearing masks and everything. And I was gonna go forward with my performance. And then I want to say like 3 or 4 days prior, I was talking to my husband, I was talking to my friends, and I said, I don't know if I can, in good faith, go forward with this performance, because if people are sick, why am I going to make those people come out and see me? And what if they catch it just because they
Yeah.
came and saw me? Like,
Yeah, you feel bad, huh?
I feel real bad, and I just didn't feel that it was the socially responsible thing to do. So I withdrew. And if they move forward with it this year, I wouldn't do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that's cool. I mean, I mean, I know some people went last year, but I think they stopped at like, I think, was it Friday, right? Like, I think it went down on Thursday,
It went
and then
down
they,
Thursday, and then I think Friday morning or Friday afternoon or something, they canceled it. But I,
oh, okay.
I think they should have canceled it to begin with. But
Yeah, because I guess in the beginning everybody didn't really think much of it, but then after then it just went crazy afterwards. I was like, man, that's a good thing they did because that thing gets like that,
Oh
like
yeah.
you're like shoulder to shoulder. You know what I mean?
Even
So,
like there's Cowboys Dance Hall here in San Antonio. I guess
okay.
concerts this past weekend that
Uh-huh.
was just packed and nobody was wearing their mask. And then there was a lady from Del Rio that was positive and went
Uh-huh.
anyways. And so now they're trying to backtrace everybody that was at the concert or around her because they were exposed. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I don't understand people, but like I don't understand how you could knowingly be infected and still go. Like,
Yeah, like that ain't cool. They just people don't care. You know what I mean?
yeah. So I
Hey,
don't
but if it goes down, play this time, but go into like a spacesuit or something like that.
a see-through
Okay.
holographic mask.
Hey, for real, huh? Nah, but you're right. But I don't even think that is going down. I really don't think 'cause the way it is going, and it's like everybody's so close to each other over there. And I love going out there. I never miss it. Like I've been going for years, many many years, and if it would have went down, you would play though, right?
I don't know. I
No,
just
no, no. I'm not saying, but if there was no COVID, you would
oh,
have.
there were no COVID. Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
play every year there. So yeah.
Cool. Está bien, está bien. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play them. I'm gonna mix these two tracks together so
Oh,
that let the people can see that. And like I said, I was doing this on YouTube, but I had to cut it off because I didn't know if it was on. So people probably looking like, "Where's she at?" You know what I mean?
oh,
So I'm gonna upload regardless. I'm gonna upload this to
okay.
YouTube. So. So I'm
Sounds
gonna play these tracks for the last that here watching.
all right.
Check it out. All right, vámonos. So this is Raza. This is si tú tienes un amante, right?
Yep.
Si tú tienes un amante, and that's available. All these songs are available.
On
What like is it on every platform?
yes, Spotify.
Okay. Amazon and everything, huh?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So here it goes.
Mira, me estás fastidiando la vida, tu mal amor y tus malas mentiras, y me muero por decirte adiós. Mira, ya no es necesario que finjas, lo tuyo fue entrada, salida. No te compadezcas de mí, por favor. Si tienes un amante, dímelo. No trates de engañarme, por favor. Si tienes una amiga, dímelo. Me basta que lo digas y me voy. Mira, ya no soy la tonta sufrida, la que por amor tus traiciones olvida. Te quise una vez y ahora ya no. Mira, ya no es necesario que finjas, lo tuyo fue entrada, salida. No te compadezcas de mí, por favor. Si tienes un amante, dímelo. No trates de engañarme, por favor. Si tienes una amiga, dímelo. Me basta que lo digas y me voy. Si tienes un amante, dímelo. No trates de engañarme, por favor. Si tienes una amiga, dímelo. Me basta que lo digas y me ese cariño que te regalé, me lo devuelves en este momento. Los sigas que te regalé, voy a pensar que nunca los vivimos. ¿Qué te pasó? Tú eras tan lindo, casi un ángel. Qué tonta fui creyendo en ti y se acabó. ¿Y qué pasó con tu amor? Tanto cariño, ¿dónde fue a parar? ¿Y qué pasó con tu amor? Tanto cariño, ¿dónde fue a parar? Ese cariño que te regalé, me lo devuelves en este momento. Los sigas que te regalé, voy a pensar que nunca los vivimos. ¿Qué te pasó? Tú eras tan lindo, casi un ángel. Qué tonta fui creyendo en ti y se acabó. ¿Y qué pasó con tu amor? Tanto cariño, ¿dónde fue a parar? ¿Y qué pasó con tu amor? Tanto cariño, ¿dónde fue a parar? El corazón se marchitó como tú. El cariñito se acabó, igual que tú.
Tanto cariño te quise con delirio, en mí nada fue fingido, eso es parte del destino que me animo a quererme, no te obligo, si quieres puedes buscarme porque sigo siendo el mismo, porque se acabó. Por ti yo sentí amor que no pasó, el cariño me negó y mi corazón a mí me reclamó, porque no hiciste esfuerzo, no había corazón. Tanto cariño.
¿Y qué pasó con tu amor? Tanto cariño, ¿dónde fue a parar?
All right, Raza. That was Crystal Torres. ¿Qué pasó? You can find that on every digital platform. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's right. That's an awesome song. I love
Thank
it.
you.
Well, all right, girl. I think I covered a lot of stuff, that the Raza know, a little bit about you and stuff like that, and it was super awesome talking to you. You got some cool stories, and I'm sure you got a whole bunch of them, but I'm the type of guy, if we talk about music, we'll be here for hours, I swear to God.
Me too.
Yeah. So, like I said, so all your music, it's on every platform, every digital platform, and stuff like that, so that the Raza knows, and y'all can go check it out. And I appreciate you doing this,
No, thank you.
and
Yeah.
it was awesome talking to you. And like I said, I wish you the best in your future and in la carrera de la música and everything else. And God bless you.
Thank you.
And thank you for doing this. Y ahorita I'll get with you right now in a little bit, okay, girl?
It sounds good. Thank you so much for having me. And if you ever need anything, I'm always here. So thank you.
All right, Rafa. That was Crystal Torres. Peace, amiga.
Bye.